Plants. A balance of benefits and caution. In my ancestors' diaries of expeditions to Jewish shtetls in Ukraine, Poland, and Germany, I discovered that since ancient times, Jews were advised to be cautious with the plants to which they opened the doors of their homes and let them in. Since ancient times, plants have occupied a special place in human life. They decorate homes, create a cozy atmosphere, and sometimes become true green healers capable of influencing our health. In today's world, where air quality and ecology are increasingly pressing issues, interest in plants as a source of well-being remains high. However, everything in moderation is key. Even the most beneficial plants can be both beneficial and potentially harmful. Even the most beneficial plants can pose potential dangers. Some contain toxic substances that can cause allergic reactions, skin irritation, or even poisoning if accidentally ingested. For example, Dieffenbachia, Monstera, and Euphorbia are beautiful but potentially dangerous plants, especially in homes with small children or pets. Jewish traditional medicine places particular emphasis on household safety and recommends caution when choosing plants for home cultivation. Jewish traditional medicine recommends carefully studying the properties of plants, their impact on health, and considering the individual characteristics of family members, such as allergy susceptibility, chronic illnesses, and other factors. Plants are our ancient companions and helpers, capable of providing beauty, comfort, and health. But true harmony is achieved only when we approach their selection and care with awareness and care. Following the recommendations of Jewish traditional medicine, you can create a home atmosphere that is welcoming for all family members and safe for health. As the saying goes, take care of what is beneficial, but be mindful of what is harmful. One of the main benefits of plants is their ability to saturate the environment with oxygen. During photosynthesis, they absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, which is especially important for people experiencing a lack of fresh air. Furthermore, many houseplants can purify the air of harmful substances, formaldehyde, benzene, trichloroethylene, and other toxins commonly found in household chemicals and building materials. For example, the ficus is renowned for its ability to absorb formaldehyde, and the chlorophytum is a champion at purifying the air of exhaust fumes and other toxins. Spathiphyllum is equally effective, helping combat mold and mildew. Plants also increase air humidity, which is especially important during the heating season, when indoor air becomes dry and can irritate the respiratory tract. However, despite the obvious benefits, one should not forget about the potential risks. Some plants can trigger allergies, especially if a person is prone to respiratory illnesses. Pollen, fungal spores, essential oils, and even soil microorganisms can cause unpleasant reactions, ranging from mild itching to severe asthma attacks. The substrate in which plants are grown also plays a role. Excessive soil moisture promotes the growth of mold and fungi, which can cause chronic respiratory diseases. Furthermore, some plants produce specific substances that can irritate mucous membranes or cause headaches in sensitive individuals. When choosing plants for your home, it is important to consider your individual health needs. If you have family members with allergies, asthma, or odor sensitivities, avoid plants with strong scents, high pollen counts, or those prone to mold. It's best to choose plants that rarely cause allergic reactions, such as sansevieria, aloe, or spider plants. Before purchasing a plant, it's a good idea to consult an allergist and learn about the properties of the chosen species. Proper care for your green pets is also crucial. Regularly ventilate the room, monitor soil moisture, and prevent mold growth. Plants are our faithful allies in the fight for clean air and well-being. They can create harmony in the home, improve mood, and even help fight illness. But, as with everything, a sensible approach is key. Consider your individual health needs, choose plants wisely, and care for them with care. After all, as the saying goes, better safe than sorry. Let your green friends bring you only joy and benefit. Crassula, fat woman. Crassula, also known as the money tree, is a plant often grown indoors. It's called money tree for a reason. There are superstitions that the tree absorbs negative energy, bringing prosperity to the home where it grows. Some of this is true. The plant can purify the air. It is also used for medicinal purposes. There is a reason why you shouldn't keep a money tree, or crassula, in your home. The plant's leaves contain a poison called arsenic. This substance doesn't evaporate, so it's impossible to become poisoned just by standing near the tree. For this to happen, the leaves must be ingested. Keeping a crassula indoors is dangerous if you have a child or pet. Oleander. This is a very beautiful plant that blooms with bright pink flowers. It's easy to maintain, so many people enjoy having one at home. However, its sap is quite dangerous. If it comes into contact with the mucous membrane of the eye, it can cause a corneal burn. However, you shouldn't touch the plant with bare hands. Furthermore, when the oleander is in bloom, a strong aroma spreads throughout the room. This can cause rapid heartbeat, headaches, and shortness of breath. This flower is especially dangerous for people with allergies or asthma. Fern. Ferns are non-poisonous, so they can be kept indoors, but only in rooms not intended for rest. This is because they interfere with sleep. During the day, ferns absorb a lot of oxygen and release carbon dioxide at night. This can cause headaches and insomnia, making a person feel unwell. Ferns are also contraindicated for people with allergies. Azalea. These are very beautiful flowers that look like small bushes with bright, double flowers in pots. However, it's important to remember that they are poisonous. If the sap is ingested, it can cause serious harm: nausea, vomiting, general weakness, and, most dangerously, heart problems. When blooming, azaleas also fill the room with a strong aroma. Keeping them in rooms with tightly closed windows or poor ventilation is not recommended. Poinsettia. It is loved for its unusual shape and interesting colors. Unfortunately, this is a harmful houseplant, as its stems contain a toxic milky sap. This can cause esophageal burns if ingested. It is also dangerous for people with latex allergies. Monstera. One of the most popular houseplants thanks to its large, beautiful leaves, easily recognizable among thousands of others. Monstera doesn't contain toxic sap and doesn't cause burns, making it relatively safe. However, you should still be very careful when handling it. The leaves, which are so attractive, have tiny, almost invisible needles. If they come into contact with mucous membranes, they can cause a burning sensation. Therefore, we recommend wearing gloves when handling Monstera and keeping small children away. Dieffenbachia. This poisonous houseplant is named after the German botanist I.F. Dieffenbachia. The flower is very attractive. It has lush foliage, an interesting variegated coloring, and grows to a fairly large size. Therefore, Dieffenbachias are kept both in small pots indoors and used to decorate balconies, stairwells, and glassed-in terraces. The dangerous properties lie in the sap, which easily oozes from the trunk and leaves at the slightest injury. It causes a burn if it comes into contact with skin. Therefore, it is best to keep the plant away from small children and animals. Euphorbia. Euphorbia is a type of green plant that encompasses many subspecies under its name. While they may appear different, they all share a common feature. The milky sap inside the trunk and leaves has a number of beneficial medicinal properties, as well as some that are quite dangerous. For example, it can cause severe poisoning, corrode skin upon contact, and can also cause intoxication. Clivia. Clivia is loved for its unusual shape, dense dark green leaves, and bright orange or yellow inflorescences. However, the sap and rhizomes of the flower contain the alkaloid licorine. It causes severe poisoning, vomiting, nausea, and profuse salivation. A large dose is very dangerous and can lead to paralysis and collapse. Ficus benjamine and Ficus elastica. People with allergies should also avoid ficus trees, as they contain high concentrations of an allergen called ficinace alpha, which can cause irritation when inhaled or in direct contact with the skin. Allergic dermatitis is also possible in people with a latex allergy. Kalanchoe is a flowering plant commonly used as an indoor ornamental. It has stunning bell-shaped flowers in red, yellow, and orange, but due to its toxicity, it is not suitable for homes with small children. All parts of the kalanchoe plant contain saponins, chemicals that can cause stomach irritation and vomiting if ingested by both humans and pets. Primrose, which produces small clusters of colorful flowers on slender stems, is often a popular houseplant due to its colorful petals and pleasant fragrance. However, all parts of the primrose contain toxins that can cause immediate symptoms such as abdominal pain, vomiting, or diarrhea if ingested by humans or animals. Therefore, they should never be kept in homes with small children, who could accidentally ingest these toxic elements. Decorating your home with beautiful houseplants sounds like a great idea. It's crucial to know which plants should never be kept indoors for safety reasons when small children are running around the house.